Let your voices be heard. We're spreading love with every single word. From the stage to the screen, we're making our mark. Me and Venus, together we embark.
Bonjour and hello. Very happy to welcome today actress, performer, and founder of Artéfakt, Magalie. Bonjour, Magalie. Welcome.
Hi.
Yes. First, I want to ask you about your interest into art and studies before founding Artéfakt. What you can tell me?
So what was I doing before founding Artéfakt?
Yes, your studies and your venturing into art. How did it start with you?
So I pursued acting professionally at the age of 19. At 19, I actually left my Quebec home because I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to become an adult, pay my own bills, and I moved to BC, Victoria, BC, on the island. And that's where I improved my English. I auditioned for all the acting schools in Canada in English. And then I was accepted the following year at George Brown Theatre School. And then I joined the school in 2013.
Great. And I've seen you did a lot of performing and dancing and modeling as well. Tell me, how did you land your first acting work? Because I've seen you did a lot of films and television work in your filmography.
When I started my career in 2014 in Toronto, I did a lot of non-union work and independent works. I did a lot of commercials, short films, feature films. I produced a lot of theater and I directed a lot of plays because I felt that I was not given the opportunities I wanted. So I started to create my own opportunities and to direct plays. And that's what led me to eventually become an acting coach. And my first, I guess, professional credit was in 2021, I guess, on the union production. And that's when I joined the union ACTRA in Canada. And that led me to do a bunch of different professional roles on bigger productions.
What can you tell me about the industry in Toronto and Quebec? And according to you, to your experience, and which led you, of course, to found Artefact, which we would like to speak about in details.
Toronto and Vancouver are the two biggest hubs in Canada in terms of film and TV. Montreal has some film and TV and feature films. It's also where the French market is, the Quebec French-speaking market. But I haven't really worked in Quebec, even though I'm from there. I started my career in Toronto, and then I moved to Vancouver. And I'm going to talk more about Toronto and Vancouver. But
Yes.
I guess 2017, people were starting to ask for more self-tapes, even pre-pandemic. And
Yes.
pandemic hit, that's when everything went self-tapes only. And I already, everybody had to kind of build themselves a studio, I guess. And I built my own, and I thought, well, with my skills as a director, stage director, why not run my own self-tape studio? And that's when I founded Artéfakt. I founded it back in 2017 unofficially. And in 2019, 2020, that's when I dove into it plenty and started my company in Vancouver.
Tell me, when you started Artefact, Tell me about what kind of vision you had for it to help the art community, for other performers as well.
Well, at first it was also a mean to an end
Yes,
because, as you know, artists, they have full-time jobs they don't like until they have a breakthrough in the industry. And me, I was like, well, I'm skilled at coaching actors, why not
yes.
capitalize on it? And also, I'm very kind, I have really good instincts, I'm social, I want people to succeed. And also teaching actors, coaching actors helped me develop myself and my skills as a coach. So without all these actors I've coached, I wouldn't be the coach that I am today. And I also started teaching acting classes in 2021, and
Hmm.
people were a bit scared in the pandemic to do in-person classes. I was kind of the first one to do like acting classes in person in Vancouver at the time, and that's when my studio like skyrocketed. And I helped over like 400 actors in like less than 2 years, and that was amazing. And I like that I could build a community. I got to know a lot of people, and I got to know the industry more because then I'm always coaching people on their auditions. And even though I am an actor myself and I auditioned a lot, sometimes I had American actors who were in town and that I was coaching on their shows, their auditions that are filming in LA, New York, Atlanta, all over the world. Like I even had, I met a gentleman, his name is Thomas Daria. He's a Vancouver actor, and he actually had an audition for a big, big show on HBO, and he had a callback, and we met because I coached him on his original audition, and then I coached him on the callback, and it was great to see someone of his caliber come to the studio and grow. And yeah, so it's like really cool to have like auditions and actors coming in with huge scripts and TV shows that could like make them, that could launch them, you know. So yeah, I'm really
Hmm.
grateful for all the actors I've met and the community I built in Vancouver. That's for sure.
Great. Tell me, right now, do you do as well online coaching? Because accidentally, I was speaking to some actors from Germany, and they speak English very well, but they are looking as well for some guidance, you know. So, as well, Artifact can do some online coaching remotely.
Yes, yes. So I'm actually expanding my online market. I don't want to just coach local actors. I'm trying to reach to the United States or any countries that have actors speaking English that I can coach. I also speak French, so I can coach in French as well. But yeah, I'm really trying to develop the market for online coaching. So that's my next step as a business entrepreneur, business owner.
This is this is good. Right now, Artifact can be approached by studio or production houses right now to nominate actors as well for some works, or only actors can approach you as well.
Well, the services that I offer is primarily coaching, acting coaching. I do, so I'm not too sure what
Mhm.
really understand your question. Like
I
I'm
I
hearing
mean,
to
sometimes you know, we have, for instance, in Egypt, for instance, my country. You know, sometimes an actor is cast in a role in a film or television series, you know, but before shooting, the director or the producer or the screenwriter, you know, would like to have him run through a course coaching, you know, to ameliorate his expressions or her expressions before shooting. Okay. And sometimes actors coming from stage or they coming from another background. Sometimes they are anchor women or anchor men would like to venture into acting, and they before shooting they already been cast. Sometimes the producer or the makers of a certain production, they would like to have them, being a little bit reshaped a little bit for the new medium they are
Mhm.
venturing on. So, do you help as well in this kind of coaching?
Well, I've had actors come to me after they booked a job. Like it
Yes,
happens all the time. They book a job and they want to make sure
yes.
that they're ready. And I
Mm-hmm.
would I would coach them on their upcoming scenes that they're about to shoot. So
Yes.
that's something I'd like to do as well. Like be the on-site acting coach of a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really, really cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Tell me, because you have right now two facets, coaching and your organization and acting. Tell me about the challenging challenges of balancing coaching and acting for you.
Well, to be honest, what's the most time consuming is doing
Mm-hmm.
everything else than coaching. Because as soon as I coach, it's an hour or two, and I have multiple clients a week. Like that's it's energy consuming to coach someone, but it's not what's the hardest. The hardest is to keep up with the website, the social media, reach out to people, do advertising, and like I'm kind of a one woman show. I have people that I hire sometimes to help me with marketing and stuff, like experts, but I do everything. So like, but my setup has been pretty solid and consistent for the last 5 years. So it's not impossible because I don't coach full time. I coach several times a week, and that gives me, well, hopefully once I build my clientele more online, I'll be free to use all of my spare time to dedicate myself to my career as an actor myself. So
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
it's great that I recommend any actor to have a very flexible job that gives them a lot of money for a short amount of time so they can invest their energy into their own auditions because that's the dream.
Yes.
Like I love being an acting coach. It's part of who I am, but I am primarily an artist and an actor, and I do want to be in movies that can go to Cannes or like TIFF or the Oscars. Like that's my goal, of course.
Great. Tell me, according to you, about the technical aspects, what are the best practice to film a very good self-tape?
Well, as you can see, I have a blank backdrop,
Uh-huh.
so it can, you don't have to buy a paper backdrop like me. You can paint your wall. It could be just a classic one solid color wall. I see people film on white walls all the time. It's not my favorite, but it's better than a cluttered wall with frames and photos and stuff. Good lighting. I have one softbox on me, but when I do self tapes, I have like four that are installed on the wall. I have a DSLR camera. People are using iPhones. It's good. I like the freedom the DSLR camera is giving me because I can adjust the ISOs and the shutter speed. So let's say it's a darker day and there's less lighting coming inside my studio, I can like tweak the lighting um, to make the actor look their best. And I also have, well, we failed today, but I do have sound. I have a mounted camera, I have those little mics. It's important that you can hear the actor well because
Mm-hmm.
voice is acting is really important. And yeah, that's those are the basics, I guess, to film a successful self tape.
Good. Tell me, you have certain advice for aspiring actors and for the role preparation as well?
Stop
Usually like to give? Yes,
visual,
like a, mhm,
like
like an advice.
what they should
Sorry. Yes, when they audition and when they try to film as well as self-tape, do you like to give them certain advice as well, if you like to train them before shooting a production?
Um, well, if they come in and they've booked a show,
Mm-hmm.
is to their job too, but I'm personally gonna look up the show, the genre, maybe watch an episode. If the
Yes.
show is new, I'm gonna look at the showrunners, what have they done, and sometimes they give examples like this show is gonna be a mix of Game of Thrones and House of Davids, but it's gonna be set in Hawaii. Like I don't know, like so you have so you have like inspo to draw from, and then you look at the genre. You
Mm-hmm.
is it comedy, is it satirical, is it like romantic family comedy, is it 13 plus, is it dark, is it, so like you do a little bit of research on the tone and the genre of the show, and then you take a look at the character breakdown, but you always want to see what the actor can has naturally. It is their audition after all, but you do have at the end of the day to tell the story based on how it's written,
Mm-hmm.
and the actor has to navigate that with the rules that have been given to the actor while being creative and showing personality. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to guide them through the process. And
Yes.
based on my professional input, I help them be more specific. I help them with seeing where the scene arc, where it should go, nuances, how to make it more complex and also entertaining, because it is, after all, show business.
Yes. Tell me, do you think like a show reel of previous works or beauty shots is also helpful for actors, or only a self-tape is helpful as well?
You mean how actors
If,
brand themselves
yes,
with?
sometimes actors like to do like a reel, a 5 or 3 minutes reel of their previous scenes, as a presentation.
Yeah,
Uh, mhm,
so in the audition process, the first thing a casting director is going to see is your headshot.
mhm,
And there's a lot of bad headshots out there. There are people, and I'm thinking of giving a service myself, who do people who
yes.
do shot branding, because like if your headshot's not good enough, you're not even going to get an audition. And once you brand yourself well, let's say, oh, Magalie, I can do Hallmark, lead's best friend. I can do, well, I'm a gymnast and I have like stunt experience. I can do maybe tactical military soldier role, and I can do, let's say I'm really good at accent. My Russian accent, that's not true, is really strong. I'm gonna go maybe do more spyish roles. Let's say you have 3 hits: nurse, kind, gritty, and like femme fatale. So your headshots should reflect that. Femme fatale, sexy CW, attractive shows, pretty people shows, and then you have gritty, which would be Ozark, and no makeup, like beards disheveled, and then you have hospital shows like nurse friendly, um, girl next door. So you have to be able to do this. Is, let's say, your branding, and your headshots has to reflect that, and they have to be different. You don't want to have 3 headshots with the same expression, different clothing. Like, it doesn't really tell me who you are as an actor, and it makes your headshots generic. And there's so, especially for women, there's so many pretty women in the world, especially in the United States, and like being pretty, everybody's pretty. So being pretty is not going to get you in the room. You have to have character there. There has to be something else than your looks, So like having a great headshot is going to help you get in the room. After the headshot, it's resume. Do you have a few credits? If you don't have any credits, we all have to start somewhere. People look at the training. So if you have not a lot of credits, make sure you're training, you're in acting classes actively, because no one wants to hire an actor who has a one-off good audition, but once they're on set, they don't know what they're doing because they lack training. And after they look at the resume, they look at the reel. That's when we talk about show reels, demo reels. Some people don't have demo reels because they're starting, you know what I mean? So what they do is they pay to have scene films that looks like a film, but like you don't want to put like low quality on there, because as soon as they see a bad demo reel, they may even rule you out. So it's better to have maybe no reel than a bad demo reel. And when you have a reel, make sure you show scenes from network, even if it's like short. You want to show that you were approved by network, by Sci-Fi, by Paramount Plus, Netflix, whatever. And maybe you have a scene from that's less known, but the footage is really, really good, and it shows you shows your range as an actor. So yeah, so having a good reel is really important. And but before they look at the reel, they look at the audition. And if they're not sure with the audition, then they look at the reel. Sorry, I mixed up the order. But yeah, it's really important to have strong portfolio material, for sure. And especially me in my my age range is like 22, 29, and I'm a Caucasian woman. I am in the most competitive category in North America and in the world. There are so many Caucasian, young, pretty women. Let's scratch out the pretty. There's so many young Caucasian women who want to be actors and that are talented, and they do the work that I do. But like the things that make you stand out is great headshots, great training, outstanding auditions, which comes from coaching and training in general, and like having a good reel. So I have friends, and like I love them. I won't name them, but they know who they are, and they are not Caucasian, and they don't even have a reel, and they get seen, they get booked all the time, and like because they're in a less competitive category. But like for the people out there who are Caucasian, I'm sorry guys, but it's going to be a little bit harder for you, especially that diversity is so important now. And yes, it's really important, but like the fact is we are Caucasian people in more competitive category, so we have to work harder, and so be it, because we've been privileged for so long. But like yeah, it's but other than not being in a competitive category, I think every actor should have solid portfolio material, because it shows to casting that you're professional and that you take this seriously, even though like it's a job. People don't make you realize your dreams. They give you a job, they expect you to be excellent at it, and then you're going to be paid a lot of money for it. And if you suck, they'll never hire you ever again. They'll fire you from shows. Like there's so much money in this industry. People don't screw around. You know, they don't give chances. They want to hire professional, ready to go actors. So it's really important to take this seriously. And a lot of people like, oh, it costs money, blah, blah, blah. I'm poor, boo-hoo. And I'm like, I hear you. Like, not everybody has means, and like, not everybody, but like, if you want to make it in this career, you have to invest in yourself. And like, no one is gonna feel sorry for you if you don't invest in yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my pep talk.
Yeah. Right now, I see you have some upcoming works. I don't know if they've been released or not, like the Bear Lake Murders and Slant.
Yes, it's released. That's on Lifetime Television.
Yes. What can you tell me about your character there?
So this project was the highlight. With my one-woman show, I did a stage production as well, but it was my TV highlight of last year, TV movie. I was number 4. That was the biggest role of my career. And I was the little sister of the male lead, number two. The actor is named Tom Steven. And it was so much fun. I was 5 days on set. It was filmed in Kelowna, BC. And I got to play a college student who is really involved in the murders happening in her small town. And she's also helping her brother. And she gets involved in the story because her favorite influencer gets murdered in the town. And then she becomes, she's in danger towards the end of the movie because she finds the influencer's phone, and then she finds out who the killer is.
Yes.
And maybe she won't make it, but you have to watch the movie.
OK. Maintenant, pour les acteurs francophones et québécois, tu veux dire quelque chose, comment Artéfakt peut les aider pour leur carrière?
Oui, ben en fait, moi je suis québécois, je viens de la ville de Québec et je connais beaucoup d'acteurs qui parlent pas l'anglais comme première langue, qui jouent en anglais. La première chose à savoir, c'est que les accents, ça peut limiter une carrière. J'ai travaillé beaucoup sur mon accent francophone en anglais. Et si tu as un accent de manière permanente, ça va limiter les rôles que qu'un acteur peut booker. Et c'est important un acteur francophone ou quelqu'un qui parle pas l'anglais comme première langue doit vraiment se poser la question, est-ce que je suis content de juste avoir des rôles francophones en anglais? C'est possible. Si tu es un bon acteur, peu importe ton accent, tu vas travailler. Si tu es un acteur persévérant, travaillant, talentueux, les gens vont t'engager, mais ça se peut qu'ils te stéréotypent comme Magalie, she's the French girl because she has a French accent that she's not hiding or can't hide. Donc, c'est pas impossible. Moi, je pense que n'importe qui peut travailler dans l'industrie du cinéma, mais si tu veux maximiser les rôles que tu bookes, si tu veux maximiser les rôles que tu bookes,
oui.
Je conseille grandement de prendre des cours d'accent, de réduction d'accent.
D'accord. Excellent. Ouais. Okay, Magalie, I want to thank you very much today for coming to the live. And I want to congratulate you on your acting career and also for thinking of other fellow performers and helping them through Artéfakt. I wish you all the best as well, and to expand Artéfakt work beyond Canada and America as well. And I hope to receive you another time when you have a new initiative to announce. Feel free to come back and talk about it with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was lovely. I'm very grateful, and I'd love to see you soon again and talk about other stuff.
Great. Enjoy the rest of the day. I wish you all the best. I'll try to look for the Bear Lake murders because I want to know the ending. You know.
I've seen a few Lifetime movies, and not all of them have the budget and love Lifetime, but I've seen some not so good Lifetime movies, but this is one of the good ones. So like, I think everybody will be entertained.
Highly recommended. Okay.
I highly recommend it. The cast is strong. It's a good story. It's well shot in BC, Canada. It's so beautiful to see all the scenery, the landscaping.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is great. Thank you again. Merci beaucoup. Gracias. And I look forward to have you again. I wish you all the best with your work as an actress and also as a coach.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Buenas.
Buenos días. Ciao.